Hello from Costa Rica. I want to explain a very interesting concept that those of you who have not traveled to Costa Rica yet may not be aware of, but time works different here. And I'm not talking about the rotation of the planet and the spin and our alignment and spatial density from the moon and all this scientific stuff. I'm talking about time works different here. People age slower, people live longer, but there's something called Tico Time. So if you've heard of Tico Time, I'm gonna break it down a little bit for you. But I also, if you haven't heard of Tico Time, I want to provide an understanding of what it is and how there's kind of two perspectives to take or kind of view Tico Time, as it's called. So what's really interesting is I sense a lot of frustration in the voices of North Americans and Europeans when I hear them say Tico Time. It's as if they've been burdened by the general nature of how Ticos approach schedules and time and work days and so on and so forth. So I have never actually felt, not once, of all the people showing up late, I've never felt offended by it once. I've never taken it like a personal slight. I've never taken it as like someone kept me waiting, because I've not been really working here. I've been getting my life set up and I've been working on the farm with plants. So everything takes longer to communicate with. So when I plant a tree, it takes 2 to 3 years before that tree even grows a flower or fruit. So I'm sitting there patiently waiting for years for these guys to start bearing fruits. So for me to wait 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, even an hour extra is not a huge deal. And it gives me a lot of opportunity to reflect on my own feelings and thoughts about this situation that I'm impatiently waiting for, but at the same time about other things that I had been distracting myself from throughout my activities of the day that I could really just focus on now. So it's so funny to see it that way, where I am actually grateful that all of my friends that are Costa Ricans show up late to everything that we have scheduled, because that gives me free time that I know is at least 15 minutes, that could be up to 45 minutes or an hour, where I can get other things done. Now I want to give two prime examples. I believe it is just about 5 o'clock p.m. right now, Costa Rica time. I had a meeting today at 3 o'clock in my restaurant. He showed up at 3:45. And they'll communicate, they'll tell me. I was sitting in my restaurant like 5 after 3, I get a message, 3:45. So like it'll be communicated. They don't just slight you. They just have a schedule, and they know there's an appointment, whether it's the hospital or a lawyer's office or it's the actual doctor or the lawyer themselves. But they'll show up between 15 minutes and an hour after, and that's just normal Tico time. We North Americans and Europeans get offended by that because we're so, you're a minute late, you gotta be here early. I grew up being told by my father, 15 minutes early is on time. Showing up on time, you're late, because you can't warm up, you can't prepare. This was kind of a sports mentality, but that's the mentality we take into all of our travels and all of our visits to other cultures and other countries. And I've noticed significant frustration coming from North Americans and Europeans with this Tico time, when they order a taxi and it shows up 45 minutes later and the guy's texted them 3 times, I'll be there in 10 minutes. To me, I laugh at it. I'm in no rush to go anywhere. I'm cultivating patience by living here. That was part of the intention. So this culture and the nature of the people have helped me with that. I just wanted to provide a perspective for those thinking of visiting Costa Rica or moving here, more specifically, more importantly I should say, because Tico time will affect you more if you move here, because you might have your schedule. I need to get this done by this time, this done, I need to be here for this meeting here. It's never, ever, ever going to work out the way that you expect it to. And the more you try to conform this culture to your mindset, it's not going to happen. You need to change, conform your mindset to this culture and realize that's here to help you. It's here to help you age slower. It's here to help you enjoy these moments more. And it gives you an opportunity, at least it gives me an opportunity to get a lot of things, either meditation or a little bit of paperwork or uploading things to my social media or typing something, an idea that I had that I kind of pushed to the back of my mind. It actually gives you free time if you think about it, because if in your mind you have an appointment at 3 o'clock and they're not showing up till 3:45, you got 45 free minutes where you could do whatever now, and they haven't thrown you off schedule. So I literally went around planting. I cleaned my restaurant because we don't use it too much while we're renovating, so I just swept it up so it's nice and clean. I planted a few plants. For those people that donated some money this week, I planted about 7 trees so far. I'm coming into the vivero tomorrow to get some of these flowers, and there's a rose right there, and there's actually 4 acerola cherries. I think there's 2 in the ground, and I have a pot over there, and I'm gonna plant all those tomorrow too. So thank you guys for donating. I've bought a few things here, and I'm also cloning a bunch of stuff as well. So yeah, I appreciate it. But anyway, I have another friend who was supposed to meet here at 4:45. So when my other friend was then going to leave, another friend was coming for a meeting, and I just got a message, it's gonna be 5:50 now. So it just shows you, and I'm making the most of the time because I'm recording this video. So it's ironic that Tico Time is actually leading me to be more productive, just like I'm saying it's been useful in doing for me for the past 2 years. So when you get to Costa Rica and you start experiencing this Costa Rican Tico time lapse that they have here, don't get frustrated by it. Take it as a blessing in disguise, and it's teaching you, someone that runs at a pace that's way too fast for yourself, that overwhelms us all and gives us anxiety about, I can't accomplish enough that I need to in the day. Actually slowing down and stretching out the time will allow us to accomplish more when we're not in the mindset of rush, 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 rush. And you'll actually get a lot more done. I could definitely say it may not have been financially productive, but existentially productive. I've been 10 times more productive with my time since living in Costa Rica than I ever had living in New Jersey. It seemed like there I was just rushing around constantly to do tiny increments or accomplish or achieve tiny increments towards my goals, and then continuing to rush around and just chipping away, where here I've been able to dedicate my entire focus and energy and cultivate this deep patience and trust in the universe that things are gonna happen. And they're not necessarily gonna happen the pace that I want them to, but as long as I'm doing all the work and I keep my mind and my heart in a good place of knowing and trusting that it's going to happen the way it's meant to be and to the best optimal outcome, it's gonna happen, and it happens. And it manifests way quicker and in way more comfort than it does in a rushed part of a society. So when you experience Tico Time, don't get frustrated. Look at it as a blessing in disguise. You just have to change your perception a little bit, see it from a different angle, and Tico Time will become the best thing that's ever happened to you, because they will get there. It just may not be exactly when you expect it, and that's giving you an opportunity, free space and free time to accomplish something else, or achieve something else, or finish writing something else, or speak to somebody else that you haven't spoken to in a while. It's a blessing in disguise, and it really is disguised because it frustrates our North American mindset where we want everything to be done right here, right now, on time, when you said it. That's not how things work in life, unfortunately. And that's why we get stressed, depressed, and frustrated in the North American, European mindset. And that's why they're so happy here. And this is consistently ranked the happiest people on the planet because they know what they're doing and they have a secret, and it comes from ancient times. So we need to learn it. When you start encountering Tico Time, embrace it and write a comment below if you've experienced some Tico Time incidents and what they were and how you were able to emotionally work through that. I'm excited to hear your comments, and please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell to make sure you are aware of when I'm posting all these uploads, because I'm going to try to get more comedic and culturally funny, and and how we have a tough time adjusting as North Americans to this beautiful culture, and kind of provide a different perspective, because I do live a different life than most expats here, and even expats that visit me say how much I've just kind of embrace this Tico culture and try to make myself part of this community, which is very rare for expats. They like to bunch together and almost hide out in these places together, where I had the opposite intention. And as a result, I feel like my personal disposition is understanding a lot more about the Tico culture than typical expats will have conversations about. They bring up frustrations with the lack of congruity or congruence to their former culture. But that's not why we came here, to bring our former cultures. We got away from those cultures because they were not serving our highest purpose and our best self. So Tico time, pura vida. Embrace it, understand it in your heart and soul, and life will be so much better for you.